All right, Pilner, can you hear me? Want me to let me know, or you can start admitting people. There's just a couple people that are numbers and one person ADB.
Right, loud and clear.
So when you want me to start?
Is it yet 9 o'clock? We kick it off. Yep.
So start admitting them?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Do you know Jack Pascal?
Mr. Wojnowski, this is Mr. Brochin. Could you tell me if this is the right place for my homeroom students to be in?
They're supposed to go to the YouTube link.
Okay, thank you very much. I was a little confused.
No, it's okay. You're welcome.
Okay. So you might have heard that, everybody. Go to the YouTube link, not the Zoom link. Everybody got it? Go to the YouTube link, everybody. Black History Month is the bottom, is that thing right there that says live. Black History Month. So click on that.
No, it's okay. You're welcome.
Where is the YouTube link? I don't have that.
It's on the chat.
That everybody go to the YouTube link,
It's on the chat.
not the Zoom link. Everybody got it? Go to the YouTube link, everybody.
Can you post the YouTube link again in the chat? Because people who just got on, they don't see it in the chat.
Black History Month is the bottom, is that thing right there that says live. Black History Month. So click on that.
I don't see it on Classroom. Where is the YouTube link? I don't have that.
It's on the chat, then, everybody. Go to the
I just put the YouTube chat link in the chat.
Got it? Go to the YouTube link, everybody.
Can you post?
Mr. Pilner, I might have asked you to mute by accident.
So shall we log off of here and go to the YouTube channel, guys, even for teachers?
Nope, teachers can stay on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I put the link there. I put the link there for children. Like somebody said, you got to remove that period after EQ, then only it'll work. Okay. So.
All right, we're gonna begin the program. So teachers on this Zoom, I'm gonna ask you just to stay muted. Only the participants are gonna be able to talk and perform. This is being streamed to our YouTube channel, so all the kids are supposed to be at the YouTube channel watching this live at this moment. We want to welcome everybody. We'll start in about a minute at 9:05, just to kind of get everybody situated, and then I'm just going to ask Ms. Johnson just to kick this off, to say a few words, and then I'm going to go right into our National Black Anthem. So at 9:05, I'll start.
And so for everyone on YouTube, we know you can hear us. Thank you. We'll be beginning in a couple minutes. All students should be using the YouTube link. Let's see.
At 9:05, I'll start.
All right, Pilner, you want me to start now?
On YouTube, we know you can hear us. Thank you. We'll be beginning in a couple minutes.
Yep, Ms. Johnson, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and do an official welcome, and then I'll kick off the program with the Black National Anthem.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Happy Black History Month. Happy Friday.
At 9:05, I'll start.
I don't know. I got a couple. My thing is weird. I'm hearing now. So I want you guys to know that I know things are difficult right now, and this has been a crazy 2020, 2021. But we need to focus on the things that we can be grateful for and the positive things. I know for many of us, it doesn't seem like there's much. But look deep. I've been saying to myself, and people remember that a storm always runs out of rain. So if we're all going through a storm, some of us more than others, but know that people have gotten through worse. We will get through this together. I want you guys to be focused. Positive things. I know for many of us, it doesn't seem like there's much. I want you guys to be focused. I want you guys to know that you have people in the cross community, your teachers, your administrators, and everyone who works here who cares about you and wants you to be well. My hope is when I'm a little round old lady with white hair and I'm watching the news, that I can sit there, whether it's on Entertainment Tonight, MSNBC, Fox News, or whatever. Jacob, be quiet. That I could sit there and go, that's one of my kids. That's one of my students doing fabulous, wonderful things to make the world a better place. And no matter what your circumstance is, you have the ability, the intellect to make a difference in this world. And it is my hope as your principal that like I said, in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whenever it is, we can look back and we'll be celebrating you and the wonderful things that you have contributed to our society. So with that, have a great day. I'm super excited for this assembly. And no matter what, I'm going to watch it on YouTube. You have the ability,
All right, at this time, I'm going to share my screen and we'll hear a rendition of the Black National Anthem. This was sang by 105 voices from different colleges that are known as historically Black colleges. So this time I'll share that screen. All right, that was our Black National Anthem. That was a beautiful rendition. It was done recently. And again, you know, with COVID, people find creative ways to do things. And so I think this was really, really great. I think this song has meant a lot for a lot of people over the years, especially Black and brown people. You know, it speaks of a lot of hope, trauma, identity into our mother country, Africa. And so this is one of the reasons why this has been adopted as our national anthem under the umbrella of our U.S. national anthem, that is. But again, this is a really great thing. Next, I am going to be your MC for today. I don't normally like to be in front of the camera, but you know, given that this is going to be a really short program, you know, several students came to me and said, Mr. Pullinar, you know, yes, it's COVID, but we can definitely try and do something that celebrates and acknowledges our Black history. And so we're going to attempt to do that today. All right. I'm going to introduce next on the next coming up, who is going to be Alea Zander. Let me just pull up real quickly. Alea's. So she's gonna be doing a poem, Dreams, by Langston Hughes. Alea, if you're on, please unmute and start the poem.
I don't see Alea just yet.
Okay, we'll swing back around to that piece. In the meantime, if you don't know who Langston Hughes is, this is a piece that was narrated by Viola Davis, Mother to Son, and I wanted you guys to actually hear this.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare. But all the time I've been a-climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now. For ours is still going, honey. Ours is still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
All right, beautiful. That's Langston Hughes. I thought it was a really great piece by Viola Davis. If you have a chance, do go ahead and Google and search who Langston Hughes is. At this time, we are fortunate to have one of the greatest singers in New Haven County with us, our very own Danielle Story Carson. Let me just bring her up. She's going to be doing a Negro spiritual. So at this time, I'm I'm going to ask her to unmute and go ahead with her presentation.
Can you all see me? Okay, great. Hi, guys. When I was your age, I attended Pine Forge Academy, which is all Black boarding school in Pennsylvania on the outskirts of Philadelphia. And it's one of 4 that are left in the United States. While I was there, we had a chance to go to the National Black Caucus in Washington, D.C. and perform. While I was there, I met a couple of, influential people like Jesse Jackson. Maya Angelou came and she recited Still I Rise to the choir. And one of the most exciting parts for me was when we got to sing for Bernice and Martin Luther King III. It was a song that I'm going to sing today titled If I Can Help Somebody. And after we sang it, Bernice shared with the group that it was her father's favorite song. And I thought about the lyrics, and clearly this was his motto in life. So I wanted to share it with you today in hopes that it doesn't fall on hardened hearts or deaf ears. If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that he's traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian, Lord, if I can bring back beauty to a world gone rot, if I can spread love's message that the Master taught, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then living shall not be in vain. No, 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 no. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Thank you.
Beautiful. That
awesome.
Awesome. That's
Standing ovation.
That's a genre of music that is so powerful. I mean, it has kept and given hope to a lot of folks during difficult and hard times. And so, student, you know, you have to also find something that grounds your soul when things get hard and rough. And music is one of those things. Thank you, Ms. Dory Carson, for that. I'm going to share my screen right now again, just to let you know who's coming up next. I'm so very grateful to have a guest poet here. This is one of the most inspired and how should I put it? One of those person who has so much wisdom as a young person. But Teresa Midnight, thank you for blessing us and coming to Cross. We appreciate it. You've been an inspiration to so many young people across New Haven. And I hope our young people really listen and are inspired by you. Without any further ado, Teresa.
How y'all doing? So, this is Black History Month. So I'm gonna do 2 poems, and hopefully you would take some notes from this poem and you learn from it. So a quick question. I know it's February, but I realized that this poem I'm gonna do is very important. How many of you attend late night services on the eve of New Year's? Just like those. So if you attend a late night service on the eve of New Year's, they call it watch night. How many understand the history behind why it's called watch night? So for those that don't understand or know the history behind why it's called watch night services, this poem is going to enlighten you on that. The title of this piece is called Happy New Year's. So even though I can't hear you, pretend to count down with me from 5 to 1. And then when we get down to 1, we're all gonna shout out Happy New Year. It's like a call and response piece. All right, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Somebody come here, give me a kiss. It's all bliss and happiness. But if you was ever considered 3/5 of American, January 1st, we're considering hiring day, a heartbreak day, whatever you want to call it. It's all tragic. There's no magic. There's no dancing under the disco ball or dropping a confetti, just enslaved families waiting with anxiety on the eve of New Year's, wondering if they'd be separated on the next day. It's all economics. We were the first Blockbuster, the first Red Box, as slave masters rented human chattel to other plantation owners to pay off their debt. This would be the status quo until the government banned the transatlantic slave trade that it didn't go into effect on New Year's Day in 1808. And yes, we did celebrate the only way we know how. No electric slide, no disco boogaloo. We did it the old way we know how to, in the pew, in the church, in the house of the Lord. We did this every New Year's Eve, even in 1827, when the white mob attacked us in the church. They flooded the way inside, but we know how to survive because we wade in the waters. My children wade in the waters. We did this every New Year's Eve to this day. This is why we call it watch night. We must always stay vigilant, always on the lookout for resilience, always on the lookout for equality and equity. I know what it's like to leave church in the middle of the night, to be blinded by police flashlight, the overseer, officer, whatever you want to call him, mistaking my identity for a runaway because slaves used the moon to light their escape. He walked around my car looking for any reason to perform a legal search. Even in the day, we stayed going to church, praying, hands stretched to the ceiling, hoping that the carpenter of this building isn't another Dylan Roof. Even in the 21st century, a white mob of men flooded Virginia with tiki torches, chanting one nation, one people in immigration, as if they'd forgotten that their ancestors, the Pilgrims, were the first illegal immigrants. You see, America has been suffering from identity crisis. She refuses to accept her multicultural. Her religion is entitlement, and her God has to be sometimes white privilege. America, every single holiday is associated with a dark past. Thanksgiving, Independence, Columbus, America would never be for us until she acknowledged her racist legacy. History will always repeat itself like a slogan. Let's make America great again. This nation will always keep counting down to 1 on every New Year's Eve while I'm still counting every Black and brown body that dies at the hand of bigotry. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, Amadou, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, keep counting and counting and counting and counting. So that poem is, those that don't know the history behind Watch Night, if you Google it, it'll always bring you back to some information talking about, which is partially true, the Emancipation Proclamation on how the slaves are waiting. I think it was 1836. My math could be wrong. If any historians in here, they can fact check me. Waiting for the cable and the wire from the Abraham Lincoln to see if he passed the Emancipation Proclamation. But Watch Night goes way back further than that, all the way back to the beginning. So Watch Night for us, what happened was slaves would wait on New Year's Eve because they knew the next day they might be separated from their families and might be sent off to another plantation. So that was for us, New Year's Eve was considering hiring day, our heartbreak day. And you can Google that. So hope y'all enjoy that. So real quick, for those that have a name that people always seem to mess up when they pronounce it, this poem is for you. I understand the struggle and it's real. My mom wanted to name me Kunta Kinte. True story. However, my aunt immediately stepped in. She feared society tried to make me the Toby. My aunt named me Tarishi. Tarishi, which is Swahili for messenger. I guess my family wanted to give me a name that remind me where we came from. We live in the generation that gentrification has some people bleaching their skin. So if you get next to kin, we're Africans. Yes, and Africans bleaching their skin. So if you get names came and baked under the sun, my name comes from a place that believes in a proverb. It takes a village to raise a child. I believe it takes a planet to shape identity. I won't apologize. You don't understand my euphemism. Your world is too small for me. I think outside your bubble or your box, where the census trying to make me fit in doesn't make sense. Says race. It's nothing more than a systematic way of dissing you are in the first place. Human. I was born on the east coast of America, the name that came from the east coast of Africa. My journey towards forever. Learning that my name is not safe. Learning that my name was born out of struggle. Learning that my name can be translated to, boy, look, you lost yourself. Learning that my name is not safe. Started in 8th grade when a classmate called me Hershey. He found it difficult to pronounce Tarishi. If you could allow your English teachers to colonize your tongue so you can speak Stanislavski, Da Vinci, Sikorsky, you learn how to say Tarishi. It's easy. It's only 7 letters. T-A-R-I-S-H-I. It's really an acronym for Transatlantic Refugee, individually seeking human independence. I should have allowed someone to try to change my name into a dessert since my ancestors already made course for the sharks in the middle of the passage. The question was asked me, why would I call myself Midnight? If Hollywood ever made a movie about me, no matter how much I erase my history, you will always taste the melanin in my pseudonym. I have learned that your names are not safe. Once you discover the translation, you're accountable responsibility it carries. My name means messenger. I am to deliver more than just these poems. There is a moral compass attached to it. I am more character than 26 letters of the alphabet. My aunt prophesies me into a martyr. No one admires the bearer of bad news, especially when there's a truth. My mouth is a bullseye waiting for someone to silence me. How many of God's messengers you crucify if you realize I'm here to bring the word? Might not be the author of it. If I be both, does it make me bipolar? I am ambidextrous. A black man that refuses to be silent is dangerous. A black man that chooses to be silent is still dangerous. My mom wanted to give me a name that reminded me of my roots. My aunt want to give me a name that my oppressors, even if you colonize our language, you could never colonize our purpose. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Cross. Thank you for having me here. I hope y'all enjoy these poems and enjoy the rest of the festivities. Happy Black History Month.
Tarisha, we appreciate you coming to bless us today. It was amazing. Again, you've inspired so many young people across New Haven. Continue to be an inspiration. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
All right. I'm going to share my screen at this time. I'm going to have Alea Zanders come back and to do her piece. Oops, I'm sorry about that. Dreams by Langston Hughes. Alea, are you on? You can unmute and do your poem.
Hello. Sorry. Oh, okay. I'm reading Dreams by Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken, winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Alea. It's a short poem, but it is so powerful. Langston Hughes oftentimes do those things. His poems are like really, really short, but they are so deep and powerful. Alea, appreciate that. Again, Cross family, check it out. Check out Langston Hughes. He's a really great writer, inspired writer, that is. So that's good. At this time, we are gonna have, I'm gonna share my screen again. I'll say this particular teacher is very reserved. You would not have known that she has this talent. Miss Awusa is going to be singing a significant hymnal in Black history, His Eyes Are on the Sparrow. Again, Miss Awusa, thank you so very much, and you can unmute and bless us.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. So before I sing, I just wanted to share a little brief history. So singing has always just been a really huge part of Black history and the Black church. So slavery was an important issue facing churches, as slaves were allowed to meet for Christian services. Rural slaves used to stay after the regular worship services in churches or in plantations, praise houses for singing and dancing. They also had meetings at secret places, camp meetings, bush meetings, because they needed to meet one another and share their joys, pains, and hopes. In rural meetings, thousands of slaves were gathered and listened to sermons and sang spirituals for hours. So in rural areas, spirituals were sung mainly outside of churches. At church, hymns and psalms were sung during services. A hymn is a song that gives praise, honor, or thanksgiving to God. Singing was a way of expressing joy and pain. Ultimately, it was used to encourage the singers and the listeners. The hymn I chose to sing today is entitled His Eyes on the Sparrow. It was written in 1905 after the abolition of slavery. The themes of comfort in spite of sorrow and a profound sense of being under the watchful care of Jesus, who was a constant friend, offered the African-American community comfort during the civil rights movement. Give me a second. Okay. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? And why should my heart be lonely? Long for my heavenly home, when Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is he. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. So I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches. Yes, I know he watches. I know he watches me. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Mr. Owusu. Thank you so very much for blessing us. This is amazing. Again, as I said, you would not have known that Mr. Owusu, this reserved person, has such a great talent. So I'm glad that you were able to bless us. And students, sometimes all it takes is just a commitment to try something new and different, and you'd be amazed. You surprise yourself. And you may be good at it, like don't always say no, just step up to the plate and try doing something that is different, and you may end up just like being great at it. One of the themes of Black history here, or this year, the theme is the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. And I think part of the reason for that is just to kind of expand this notion that the Black family is just not limited to North America. Black and brown people, the diaspora is vast, it is big, it is wide, and so Blackness touches almost every part of the continent. And I wanted to for this year just show something around Latin America, specifically Puerto Rico, Bamba. And I wanted to show this picture just to let kids know who are also coming from, Latin America, that Africa is steep into your culture, into your tradition. And I wanted to also acknowledge that piece. So I'm going to share my screen on this piece here. And I want you to kind of enjoy the short narrative, okay? Okay, let's get this.
Estamos bailando en 3 áreas que son el corazón de la bomba en el norte: San Juan, Santurce y Loíza. Es una manera de bailar bien libre. Tú haces lo que en el momento tú sientas, lo que en el momento tú te nazcan hacer. Me ha llevado a quererme, a respetarme, a valorarme. La bomba viene de África, ¿no? De nuestros ancestros los africanos.
Me siento honrada porque yo siento que yo estoy representando a mis antepasados, ¿entiendes? A mis ancestros. O sea, esa era la única forma de ellos expresarse.
We don't see the video. We don't see the video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just unmute when you're ready.
A bailar.
Tú sientas lo que en el momento tú te nazcan hacer. Me ha llevado a quererme, a respetarme, a valorarme. La bomba viene de África, ¿no? De nuestros ancestros los africanos.
Me siento honrada porque yo siento que yo estoy representando a mis antepasados, ¿entiendes? A mis ancestros. O sea, esa era la única forma de ellos expresarse.
Un instrumento, un espacio para rebeliones, ¿verdad? Sirvió. Antisistémica, antirracista, anti todas esas opresiones que significaba ese sistema esclavista que había en esa época. Hoy en día, pues, la música sigue siendo un espacio de libertad y sigue siendo un espacio político de transformación. A bailar.
Me acuerdo que cuando mi mamá me puso esa ropa, yo me sentí que yo era el video. Yo, ay Dios mío, me encontraba tan bonita. Wow, este es algo con lo que yo me puedo identificar, esto soy yo, esto es parte de mí. Santurce se convierte en el primer lugar de donde estaban ubicados los esclavos libertos. Loíza se vuelve en el pueblo donde mayor concentración de negros hay.
Esta cueva es una muy antigua y es uno de estos lugares a donde las personas escapadas de la esclavitud, como los cimarrones,
Bailárselo pues me gusta también, pero me da mucha más alegría cuando estoy con mi hermana. Y qué alegría, ¿verdad? También estar juntas.
La influencia taína la vemos en los términos como la maraca, el cuá. La maraca, el cuá mantienen el ritmo constante igual que los tambores. Y el primo, ese es el que improvisa. Una comunicación entre bailador y tocador.
La familia Cepeda fue una de las muchas familias que mantuvieron el baile y el legado vivo.
El primer maestro que nosotros tuvimos fue don Rafael y doña Caridad. Fueron los primeros maestros que nosotros tuvimos, que nos enseñaron a cómo era esto. Papi siempre estaba diciendo que cuando Puerto Rico comprenda el valor del folclore, luchará con mucha fuerza para defender su honor. Él siempre luchó mucho porque se reconociera esta música que era tan marginada y olvidada, porque es música de trata negra. Música negra, tú sabes, la música de abajo, de barrio.
Que antes la bomba era, se bailaba y se conocía y se tocaba nada más que en familia.
¿Dónde está mi Congo, mi cie?
Ahora es que ha cogido un auge bastante grande. Te lo pueden bailar en la playa, como te lo pueden bailar en una tarima, te lo pueden bailar en una casa, donde sea.
Pa' que lo bailes tú también.
Porque siento un llamado, como que esos tambores te están llamando a que entres. Eso es esos ancestros que están ahí cerca, que nos mandan esas vibras.
Llega alguna niña y me está mirando, ojalá y yo le logre inspirarla a que, caramba, busque de sus raíces.
So you're muted, just in case you didn't know.
All right. Thank you so very much. I do hope that I kind of conveyed the message that, again, the African diaspora is vast, it's big. Again, it goes everywhere. So students, research some more about African diaspora. You just never know, where it may touch and who it may be influenced. At this time, we are going to have, I'm going to share my screen here really quickly. I'm going to introduce Tamia and Jaden at this time, two seniors at Cross. They're captains on the cheerleading team. They're going to do a dance for us, so they can go ahead and unmute and introduce themselves and the song that they will dance to. Tamia and Jaden, you can go ahead and unmute.
Okay. Hey y'all. My name is Tamia Reese.
And Jaden. Y'all know me.
I'm screaming. And the song we're gonna be dancing to is "Stand Up" by.
What's her name? Stand Up.
It's called "Stand Up." Mr. Pillar, are you gonna come play the music? Mister? No. Let me go in the hallway, cause. Oh, he coming. Yeah. Come on, baby. Yeah, come on. Come on. That is okay. Let's go.
I've been walking with my face turned to the side. Weight on my shoulder, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I had to run. I do what I can when I can for the people. But the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night. That's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm waiting through the water. You know I gotta lay it on mine. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I don't know what's around the bend might be mine. people with me. Across the river, I hear freedom calling me to answer the people we belong. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
Your screen probably turned over.
All right. I hope you all were able to see that rendition of Stand. They practice, really great job. At this time, I know we're running a little late. 2 more things to go. I'm out of breath, I was running. 2 more things to go. Tyler Jenkins, he's class of 2018, I'm sorry, from Wilbercross High School. He's currently at Wesleyan University, and he's gonna perform a piece for us. He sent a video over, and I gave him the rights to share his screen. So Tyler Jenkins, are you on?
What's going on, Mr. Pilner? Yes, I'm on. I just can't share the screen.
You can unmute and talk, Tyler. I see you.
Okay.
You can share now, Tyler. I think I adjusted it.
All right.
And other injustices in their communities and in the world.
And also, let me know if this can be heard, I think.
No, we can't hear it.
Yeah, no, Tyler.
Okay, wait, I'm just trying to make sure and share audio.
And I'm studying government with a minor in design engineering and African American studies. I'm a Wilbercross alum, shout out Governors, class of 2018. And I'm so honored and humbled that you guys would have me back yet another year. Like, I love Cross, love you guys, thank you. In the Black musical tradition, I think it would be best if I added something original. So I'm actually gonna make my own beat and put some bars over it. So jam out with me, thank you.
Tyler, what I'll do is I'll download the video on my computer and show it. I'm gonna go to the keynote speaker and then I'll come back to you because it's the video is a little glitchy. Okay.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay. I do not want to miss Tyler's music because he spent a lot of time creating this. He does original music from the ground up. So we'll swing back around. I want to quickly introduce Jay Joseph to the Cross family. I've known Jay for a very long time. An awesome young man. I'm just going to have him introduce himself a bit, and then he's a keynote speaker, and then just go into the speech, and then afterwards we'll just go back to Jenkins. So Jay Joseph, if you can unmute, I appreciate you coming, appreciate you spending time with young people. I know that you love the young people of New Haven. So turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pillner. Thank you for inviting me to speak. And thank you all for being here. And thank you for having me. As Mr. Pillner just mentioned, I do love the opportunity to speak with young people in the city. And it's an honor to be here because the city is very important to me because of the people here. So I'm a filmmaker and a digital media artist, and I'm from New Haven. Went to school here from kindergarten through college. And growing up as an only child, a lot of that time was spent building family outside of my own relatives. So the people here, as I said, are very important to me. And being here for so long, I've seen shifting tides and opportunities open and close over the years. And thinking about that, when thinking about what to say to you all today, I thought that the most important thing that I could point out and the most important thing that I can impart is that there is more opportunity than you might think to start your dreams right here in this city and develop as a unit. There's a lot of positive and creative energy right now, especially amidst people in your age group. And I would just encourage you all to tap into it as much as possible. As a Black artist or an entrepreneur, you're going to be broadly at a disadvantage, and it's going to take a village to lift our voices. So with that said, you shouldn't be afraid to see each other as family just because of maybe superficial or petty differences. It's easy to not get along, but it's certainly worth the effort. Right now in particular, we are in hectic and heated and tense times. We're separated constantly with social distancing, and pressure from the economy and politics is putting us in positions and mindsets we wouldn't really imagine ourselves in otherwise. And I can't imagine what it's like to be in high school right now during all of this. So now more than ever, you all need one another. And collectively, as a people, we need each other. So I'm saying this with the experience of having wasted time and potential by not reaching out to my fellow Black creators and business people. When I was studying at Yale, it often didn't feel like there was much sense of a collective Black family. Everybody, of course, had friends in the family units that they were building outside of their blood and their relatives. And we all had a cultural center that felt like the center of political activism and maybe in some sense some Black culture. But being young, being in college, and frankly, being a bit competitive, we were often so worried about ourselves that our Black consciousness wasn't always active in this way, to see ourselves as a collective unit. But at the same time, I recognized that I was studying and working with people who I believe, based on their work and their work ethic, will be the next generation of leaders in Black business, in poetry, in theater, in filmmaking, visual art, music, and pretty much every other field that you might imagine. And I say this not because of where they went to school, but because of the talent that I saw in them. Talent that I equally see here in young people in New Haven right now. So while I saw that among my peers, we graduated and scattered, and we're out in the world, basically home 24/7, and we do have time to work on things, but very few of us had projects or business ventures that we started together. And I think now in particular, as we're sitting at home with time, like I said, we see this as potential wasted. And this is not to knock anybody, but to point out that we lacked a collective vision, and because of this, we collectively missed out. On the flip side, when others did tap in with Black Family, it generated my best and most successful work to date. So while I was in school, I co-created a documentary series called Now in Color with my good friend Clark and my good friend Carnicia. And that project quickly got the attention of the New York Times. And our first season, which was made with basically no money, got us funding to travel the country and produce another season. So we were empowered as business people and as creators when we engaged with our Black family. And it's putting us in a position where we can take our work and jumpstart our careers as filmmakers, producers, creators, entrepreneurs, etc. And so this to me will always ring true no matter what you're doing or what part of life you're in. High school, college, a job, a side project. Nobody is going to understand us and our people in the way that we will. So we ought to remember that and help each other grow. It's not just it's not just Black families plural, but the Black family singular. And as I said, sometimes it's a lot harder to deal with some people than it is to talk Black unity. Trust me, I know this very well. But it is absolutely worth the effort. In this country, things are built for us to fail. They've been trying to tear Black families apart for generations, between the auction block and an unfair criminal justice system and economic disadvantages. We can go on. And yet, as a people, we have not been stopped from building family units. I know everybody on this call has at least one play cousin. All that to say, the Black family, as I've known it, is indestructible. So as long as we maintain it, we're going to be fine. And that's all I have. Thank you very much again, Mr. Pilliner. Thank you everybody on this call. As I said, it's an honor to be here. So happy Black History Month.
Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate the words that you shared with the young people. Again, Jay is one of the most talented young people that we have going around in New Haven at the moment. Jay, can you just talk about this? Just one last thing about the skate park. I think our young people know that park, and so they need to know that who's the mastermind behind that.
Yeah. Thank you for asking. Thank you for bringing it up. Last year, we finished a project to build a new public skate park in the Dixwell community. So in Scantlebury Park, some of you may have realized there's now a skate park. And that came out of work with myself and a nonprofit called Push to Start, which teaches skateboarding for free to kids in New Haven. And we got support from the Yale Schwartzman Center, which is a center for the arts at Yale. So not to take up too much time with the whole history, but while I was in school, I was introduced to the executive director of the Schwartzman Center, who comes from skateboarding and comes from public arts and comes from community-facing arts programming. And at his last position had worked with a group called Finding a Line, which is a nationwide initiative that started in DC to engage community through the arts and skateboarding. And skateboarding itself, and anybody who's really involved with it sees it as an art in and of itself. So he came to Yale and he was interested in seeing how we could build something like that in New Haven. So with his help and with the help from the people in DC who started it, and Steve Roberts, who founded Push to Start, we collectively were able to develop an offshoot of Finding a Line. So Finding a Line New Haven, it's just a joint project to myself, Push to Start, and the Yale Undergraduate Skateboarding Union, with support from the Schwartzman Center and the city on various projects. And our first project was to build the skate park because we wanted a public asset in a predominantly Black and brown neighborhood that could introduce skateboarding in the arts and culture that follows to kids who don't have that readily available. Just because there is a skate park in New Haven, but it's all the way across town, right? So we're trying to put that art and that culture in as many places as possible and create equitable access. So yeah, it was a bit of a grind, and it took a lot of work, applying for grants, getting all the ducks in a row. And then it took a lot of work at the community engagement level. And there were some bumps in the road. People didn't quite understand what we were doing, why we were trying to do it, who were all the players involved. But in the end, I think working with the folks who were at first against us and against or I won't say against us, but against the project, because they didn't quite understand what we were trying to do with it, working with them and figuring out how best to execute the park and how best it fits into the larger scope of the Dixwell neighborhood, we got a better park out of it. We got a better asset that serves the neighborhood in the best possible way that it can. And since it opened, kids have been there basically every day. I know with COVID and social distancing, folks have been less frequenting the park. Also, the weather's changed, but I'm very excited for the summer when we can all re-engage the park and hopefully have another kickoff to skate season when it's warm and we're all wearing masks, of course, but out there skating every day again. And yeah, so that was just another way I try to give back to the city that has given me so much. And I implore you all to just think of little ways that you can continue to give back to the city that gives to you, because that's how we move forward together.
Oops. Thank you, Jay. Really appreciate that. Cross students, activism looks really, really different for different people. If you see something in your neighborhood that you want to address, don't ever believe that you can't do it. You find allies and you push through, and you never know what you may get done. So, Jay, again, I appreciate you being an inspiration to the young people in New Haven. Thank you for coming to bless us. Our last performance, Tyler, I'm gonna play the video from my computer. Again, Tyler graduated from Wilbercross, again, 2018. Tyler, if you wanna just unmute, just to kind of maybe take 30 seconds just to introduce yourself and talk. I'll cue the video up for you.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Mr. Pilner. That was amazing, Jay. That was amazing speech, and also all the other performers that performed. My name is Tyler Jenkins. I'm a Wilbercross alum from the class of 2018, currently studying at Wesleyan. And I put this together yesterday. I got the call kind of late, so I was just happy to contribute to the celebration and all of like the breathtaking acts of joy, but all like the really educational parts that will, I think, serve our community really well in the future. And honestly, just happy to be here. Can I not be heard?
I'm campus at Wesleyan University. I'm a junior and I'm studying government with a minor in design engineering and African American studies. I'm a Wilbercross alum, shout out Governors, class of 2018, and I'm so honored and humbled that you guys would have me back yet another year. Like, I love Cross, love you guys, thank you. In the Black musical tradition, I think it would be best if I added something original. So I'm actually gonna make my own beat and put some bars over it, so jam out with me. Thank you.
outro, huh? I need the outro. I need the outro coming like a falco, huh? Out though, huh? I'm about to be out though, huh? Yeah. Sing what you know about love. I got what you need. You at the store and get what you want. You get what you please. We about to get it on. Take off them drawers. No, yeah, nah. Need the outro, huh? It's the outro, huh?
All right. Thank you so very much, Tyler, for that. All right. Thank you so very much, Tyler, for that. I appreciate it. This ends our Black History celebration. Again, it was virtual, a scale down, but it was impactful. Again, all of the guest artists who came, I really, really appreciate everything that you have done. You've brought to the floor. Thank you, teachers, for supporting and for bringing out the kids. Cross students, thank you for, again, paying attention and and being part of this. We really appreciate you giving and respecting the culture. And I just leave this with you. It's very, very important to know who you are, where you come from. Talk to your grandparents, talk to your parents. Your ancestral knowledge is important because it gives you a sense of, what your family has gone through and achieved, and it will give you a sense of, I'll say purpose and support and confidence to achieve other things. All right, so take this opportunity just to learn more about your family, about yourself. Again, thank you so very much, Principal Johnson. I appreciate the support on this, and everybody else, really, really appreciate it. Waj, thank you for managing the chat. Cora, thank you for pushing all the technology stuff out. That's amazing. Again, have a wonderful day. Take care. Have a great weekend. Thank you so very much. Oh, I'm sorry. And students, oops, I missed one thing. Students, the school day is not over. It is 10:24. And so you're gonna head to period 7. I think you have 6 minutes to go for period 6. So by the time you transition, period 6 may be over. So head to your period 7 class. And again, enjoy the rest of the day. Make sure you go to class. Don't say Mr. Pilliner didn't say anything. Go to class. Period 7. Not yet.
And once Cora comes on, I'm giving her host. And then I think she closes it all out at the same time. Pilliner, this was awesome.
Yes, really.
And we might actually still on YouTube, just so you know.
All right. I want to play this last song before we head out, so that everyone